month or so ago, I put out a poll on Twitter, made a video on TikTok, put it on Instagram, put it on YouTube, made a poll on YouTube where I asked you guys, what are your least favorite and the your opinions of the worst casting picks of all time? And I wanted to do a video where I reacted to that, and obviously not that big of a channel, so I didn't get that many submissions, but I do have several that I'm going to discuss here in this video, and also I'm going to tell you my pick for my worst casting of all time. Before I get started, please make sure to subscribe, like button, hit the bell, and comment down below if you want. I mean, it's a little too late now. You're a little too late to the party. But if you want, what's your opinions of the worst casting of all time? I would love to know all that and more. And with that said, before we dive into your guys' picks, I want to go ahead and tell you what do I think is the worst casting of all time. In my, obviously, professional opinion, what do I think is the worst casting decision of all time? And that's Henry Cavill's Superman. I know it's not a popular pick. There are going to be some people that are going to be in this comment section like, you suck! You're canceled! You're thrown off the internet! No more YouTube for you, Zachary! You suck! Get out of here! I'm unsubscribing because I'm one of your 119 subscribers on YouTube! Off! I am unsubscribing! Oh, I'm going to come to your house and burn you with stakes! Because apparently that's how people react if you say anything negative about the Snyderverse. Heck, that's not how many people react if you say anything about the Gunverse. The new DCU Gunverse. I don't know. The DCU universe. The people are stupid. I made a hot take video earlier this week. I'm very clear on this. I'm right down the line. I think both are great. I do like the universe of the Snyderverse. I love Batman v Superman and Zack Snyder's Justice League. Two fantastic superhero movies. But then we get to, Henry Cavill, and specifically Man of Steel. Not really good. Specifically for Henry Cavill, I just don't think he has charisma at all. You see David Cornsweet as Superman, you see Christopher Reeve as Superman. They have this hope to them. You know, that's what Superman is. The S on his chest stands for hope. And they're saving people. They're doing their thing as Superman. This one just decides, hey, let's stand in the middle of this place. And I know it's about to explode, but or farming. Yeah, I know this whole oil tank's about to fall down, but or farming. And just his face is just like, I'm Superman. I'm doing Superman things. That's him in all of his movies. Like David Cornsweet as Superman, he had emotion. There were emotions in that movie. And Henry Cavill's just aura farming. And, you know, I like a lot of things he does. I think he's actually decent in Batman v Superman. But, I mean, just doesn't have the hope. Comes off as stale. Made me dislike Henry Cavill. I don't really love Henry Cavill as an actor. Really. I think he's great in the new Mission, or not the new one, but Mission Impossible Fallout. I think he is fantastic in that movie. Haven't really seen him in anything else that made me say he's great. So he's just a Superman that loves to or a farm. And so, doesn't work for me. That's my pick for my least favorite casting of all time. Go ahead, come to my house with burning stakes. My address is... You stupid? You actually thought I was going to give you my address on the internet, huh? Yeah, I'm not that dumb. Try again, Snyder cultists. Alright, that insane craziness aside, and yes, I am running on like 5 hours of sleep. My brain's going a little insane, and now I'm reacting to these picks. I want to talk about Reverse Lane first. He, on a live stream, my last live stream on Sunday, he said that Halle Berry as the Little Mermaid is his pick. I can't really think that because I've never seen The Little Mermaid, the live action or the animated one, really. Because, you know, if I don't have to watch them, I'm not going to watch them. And so I didn't have to watch The Little Mermaid when it came out. I just had no interest in it. So I completely skipped the movie. I didn't watch The Little Mermaid, so Reverse Lane, I know you're a good friend of mine, and I'm sorry, I cannot say anything about Halle Berry as The Little Mermaid. Because I've seen the trailers, thought she looked okay in the role. I can't say anything about her acting ability because I just haven't seen the movie, so sorry about that, buddy. But let's dive into Twitter, because nobody commented on my YouTube poll or TikTok. Actually, I got some weird comments on TikTok. I got some person saying that I was their little devil angel baddie. So, that's cool, I guess. But, let's go ahead and start with Jack Colgan. I got 2 comments here. They each picked 2, and we're going to discuss them. Jack Colgan said, Jared Leto as Joker. We'll talk about that one first. I could see where they were doing with that version of the Joker. Kind of like an LA-inspired punk rock version of a Joker. It's more of a problem with the movie than him. I could totally see what they were doing. There was an interesting idea for that kind of Joker, but, I mean, he didn't come across as, like, creepy or funny at all. He just kind of came across as just weird and trippy, which is not who the Joker is at all. I mean, yeah, he's weird and trippy, but those aren't his core attributes that, unlike being creepy and funny and just dangerous. This one felt like a twig that Ben Affleck's Batman would jump in like this water bottle and just snap him over his leg. I just shook my whole room doing that. I mean, that Joker, like, the script just had him do nothing. And anything interesting that he could have done was just not there. I mean, when he popped up in Zack Snyder's Justice League, when he's just kind of there, I could see the vision, you know? Like, he was creepy. Wasn't funny, but he was creepy. And that's the main thing I want in Joker. When I see Heath Ledger as Joker, I don't love him because he's funny. I mean, he is funny, but I love him because he has such a screen presence, you know? Like, whether he's walking in on the gang of bad guys. I guess my jokes were bad. That iconic phrase. Or he's just with the one guy dressed as Batman and he just murders him. He's genuinely scary and sends chills down my spine. This Joker just felt like nothing. He felt like a Joker. But not the Joker. But just a Joker, if you catch my joke there. The other one Jack Colgan said is Topher Grace's Eddie Brock / Venom. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I love the Spider-Man movies. I'm not the biggest Sam Raimi fan, or the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies fan, but I think they're fine. And I do like Topher Grace as Eddie Brock and Venom. I don't think he's, like, the best one. Obviously, we only got 2, and the only good thing about those Venom movies are Tom Hardy and Venom's interactions. But I don't think he's bad. I mean, he's just sitting there and he's saying... He's genuinely wishing for Peter Parker to die, which feels like Eddie Brock. And a lot of people say that he's not because he doesn't look strong. He doesn't lift weights or anything. But I like him because he's kind of this journalist guy and he's just doing his job and hates Peter Parker because he's taking his job. Who cares about the muscles anyways? Is Tom Hardy the most ripped guy you know? I didn't think so. So, like, when he gets the Venom suit, or Topher Grace's Venom does, like, he's still pretty scary. I don't hate him in this role. I don't love him, but, like, I see people saying that he's not a good Venom, and I'm like, where do you see that? I think he's fine. He's completely fine. So, Jared Leto as Joker, I don't want to agree with that because I don't think it's really his fault. I think it's more of a script fault, but I will have to agree with that take. And Topher Grace as Eddie Brock Venom, I'll have to disagree with. And then Jake Dollar, my brother, with some of the craziest takes I've ever seen. Okay, they're not that crazy. You see them all the time. But takes I highly disagree with. I disagree with all these takes, Jacob. Let's talk about them. He said, even though I like Mark Ruffalo, I think they should have kept Edward Norton as the Hulk. Strong disagree. I highly disagree with you there, Jacob, brother. That's a horrible take. I see a lot of people agreeing with that. And I do not agree. I think Mark Ruffalo, for what the MCU wanted to do, completely captures it. I think Edward Norton's kind of stiff in the Incredible Hulk. Don't think he's all that great. He's kind of just there. He's running. He doesn't really have the character arc. He doesn't have any likable attributes. When you get to Mark Ruffalo, I think he's an insanely likable guy. I really like Mark Ruffalo in this movie. I really like Mark Ruffalo in the MCU. I think that all of his character arcs that he does is great, whether it's the character arc in Avengers Age of Ultron with his romance with Natasha, or his character arc in the first Avengers when he's just, doing his thing. I really like him, and even, like, people complain about Smart Hulk. I don't dislike Smart Hulk that much. I recently put out a 3 things I need in Spider-Man Brand New Day short, and I said I need Rageful Hulk back, which I do need, but I don't hate Smart Hulk because I just find him funny, and Mark Ruffalo is a good character, and what they have done with the Hulk inside the MCU, I think is great. So, that is a strong disagree. No, Jacob. I don't agree with you there. And then he said, Ezra Miller as the Flash should have been Grant Gustin in the Flash movie. Okay, I don't want to defend Ezra Miller because he's kind of a piece of shit, but, disagree here. Yeah, I'll have to disagree here. Grant Gustin is a great Flash. Let's be for real. For that universe, the CW, they had iconic casting. Stephen Amell as, Green Arrow, Grant Gustin as the Flash. Just some iconic castings for that universe. But I don't think Grant Gustin would have fit this role. I don't think that the Flash in this movie, what he had to do would have fit the role. Number one, because it would have confused people. Imagine your grandma who watched the Flash show going to the theater and like, is this the same Flash? Then why is that a completely different father? And why is there no Reverse Flash? And who is that guy? I remember him from when I was 30 years old. Michael Keaton, that's a nice piece of ass. Yeah, but she would think it's part of the same universe or whatever. She would see the trailer and she'd be like, yeah, that's the Flash movie. I love the show. Let's go watch the Flash movie. Completely different universe. Also, I don't want to offend Ezra Miller because he's kind of a piece of shit, but I think he's really good in the movie. I really do. I know a lot of people say that he's annoying with his back and forth banter and the constant comedy. I completely agree sometimes. I think that he can be annoying, but it's kind of the point, of Flash number 2 being kind of this annoying prick throughout the movie. But do you really think Grant Gustin could portray the emotions that Ezra Miller did in that final scene in the movie where he's with his mom? Do I really think Grant Gustin can make me cry like Ezra Miller did in that movie? No, I don't. I think Ezra Miller is really good in the movie, and he's not a good person. He's really, really not a good person. But I think he's really good in this movie, and so I'll have to highly disagree with you here. So, Jared Leto's Joker, I agree with that take. Topher Grace's Venom, disagree. Mark Ruffalo, Ezra Miller, disagree as well. And there you have it, folks. That's my reactions to some of your picks for the worst castings of all time. I'll probably make this video like my reaction to your worst comic book castings of all time, or something along the lines, because they've all been comic book movies except Reverse Lanes, and unfortunately I couldn't answer that one. But shout out Reverse Lane, good friend of mine. So go subscribe to his channel if you see him. Do it now. And please, I was kidding about Henry Cavill, and when I said unsubscribe, please don't unsubscribe. I need your subscription desperately. I'm sitting at the let me grab this. I'm sitting at the corner of the street. Please, sir. Please, may I have your subscriptions? Please, I need your subscriptions. So that's me doing that. So please subscribe. It would really mean a lot. Hey, I'm seeing Weapons tomorrow night. I'm so excited for that movie. Stay tuned for a review. And then I'm going to start a review series of the Spider-Man movies inside the MCU. I've been rewatching them this week, and I love them, and I want to talk about them. So there'll be a review series starting this weekend or before. I don't know when I'm posting the first one. But thank you guys for clicking on this video, and subscribe.